Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information on the Portrea Wealth Group or to schedule your complimentary consultation, visit PortreaWealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
Would you pay $75 for 4 hamburgers?
Hell no.
What if they're like that Wagyu beef or melted cheese?
No.
Still wouldn't do it?
No,
That's how much one person at Five Guys paid for 4 hamburgers. Now, an expensive steakhouse, maybe. At Five Guys, I would not be paying $75. No. But the reasoning is that their prices are higher is because you can customize your burger in so many different ways. This $6, $7, $8 burger is now you add mushrooms, and now you add some onions, and now you add extra mayonnaise, extra pickles, extra cheese, another patty. Well, that just adds up. It's all this customization of the hamburger. So we were talking about a second ago when they sit down with you and you customize a plan for the families that you serve. Mm-hmm. When you tailor those plans, does it cost extra?
Well, first off, when we sit down and build your plan for you, our consultation, there is no fee or charge. It's always complimentary because I wanted to be an educator. I wanted to be a history teacher and help people learn history so we don't repeat the mistakes of our past. So when we sit down and go through that plan we just talked about, we go over your income plan, we go over your expense plan, we go over taxes, we go over the Social Security plans, we go over Medicare. The education is free, obviously. Now, once we implement any corrections we need to make, there can be a commission and or a management fee on those plans. But when you look at people, and I had a couple come in last week, they're from Doylestown, and they have this a variable annuity. And I don't know how much you're familiar with variable annuities, Mark, but when we sat down and broke it down, she was paying 6.75% on a variable annuity as fees, whether she made money or didn't. Mm. Because you said about the burger, if you get extra mayonnaise and mushrooms and cheese, every account she had, every sub-account had a fee. Every time there was a transaction, she had a fee. Every time she said, give me more ketchup, she had a fee. And that's how they work. I don't believe in that. For my fixed index annuities, my safe money, I need to have safety. I need to know that no matter what happens tomorrow, I still have this. Mm-hmm. But the managed funds, we're going to work with you, and we're going to make sure that you're happy with the outcome, you know where we're going to go, and you're safe and secure for your future.
You know, I don't know. I'm learning every week. You educate me like you educate our audience every week. But I know that much in fees, that's not right.
That's absurd.
That's absurd.
And people don't know how to read them. That's the problem, because we always say, you've heard that saying, Mark, oh, it's all Greek to me. Mm-hmm. Well, I can't say that because we're Greek. But this thing, these annuities, this breakdown, these fees and these charges for folks, for variable annuities, or even their managed accounts they have, because you come in, you bring in your invoices, your statements. Our job is to know how to read them. That's what we do. We break it down for you because retirement already is gray. And planning for retirement is gray. And gray is really, it means I'm not really sure what I'm paying, when I can retire, how much my retirement's going to be, or more importantly, can I afford to retire? I want it to be black and white, and that's what we do. We make it so it's black and white, easy to read. Just like the doctor tells you went to the hospital and your wrist is swollen, it's hurting, and he gives this big terminology. And you say, what in the heck does that mean? And he says, well, you have a sprained wrist. I'm telling you have a sprained wrist because you have to know the facts. Because the only way you can make a change and understand your movement is to know the facts and the base and be able to make an educated, and the key word is educated, decision about tomorrow.
We say it every weekend. We're here to educate and inform you. 302-330-2166, PortreaWealth.com. If you're in the car this weekend, just put a Google on it. Portrea Wealth Group, all the information will pop up. And as you're putting those plans together, George, you know, I need an education because I know our taxes are going to continue to go up because our national debt right now is over $32 trillion. And nobody in Washington seems to have any plan of reducing that debt. Everybody talks a big game, but nothing's happening. So we're eventually going to have to pay for that. And it came out about a week ago that our debt credit rating went down. Okay, Now explain that to me. Educate me on that one. Give me the Cliff Notes, the Idiot's Guide version. What does that mean? But more importantly, what does it mean for my finances?
All right, you and Gretchen are looking to buy a new house.
Okay.
And your credit score is 805. Just pick a number.
Okay.
They are going to give you a mortgage with an interest rate based on 805 because you're a higher probability of paying back your debt in a timely fashion because you've earned all that hard-earned credit. You've earned it. Well, in 6 months, your credit rating, instead of being 805, is now 725. Still very good, but you're not as good as 805. So they drop it and they charge you more to borrow that money, higher percentage. So instead of paying $800 a month, you're now paying $900 a month. That's what happened when Fitch dropped the U.S. government from AAA rated to AA plus. It doesn't seem like a lot. It's still good, right? Hey, AA, I'd love to have double A's. But it's not as good as AAA because the reason is we have so much debt. You know, last week we had Candace Owens on. We had the chance to, Mark and I talked to her down in Nashville. And she said, you know, it's really funny about the government. I can go online right now and log into TD Bank and tell you every transaction I've done with my bank accounts. Complete transparency. Why can't I, as a taxpayer, log in and see what we're doing with our tax dollars? Since they don't want to tell us what they're doing, they just want to tell us how to live our lives, this is the result. I think you just said $32 trillion in debt. No plan to cut those spendings.
Well, you know, we're coming up on an election year, so everybody's going to have a plan here in the next 6 months.
Guess what? It's all smoke and mirrors. Until you have someone in office that cares about the American people, this will never change.
I do want you to hear that clip. Actually, here's Candace Owens talking about her tax strategy.
The answer to taxes is to always lower them or abolish them because taxation is theft and it is really unbelievable. You know what I also might do is implement a policy where people actually get to see how they're spending their taxes. I think it's ridiculous that I can log on to Chase Bank and see how I'm spending my money and yet we don't have a clear access in terms to how the government is spending our money. And I think that if more people were engaged in that way, as if it were their own money because it is their own money, they would vote differently.
Amen.
She's absolutely right. And it's proven fact, lower the taxes are, the more income that comes into the government. But we all think that if you make $1, you should tax it. How about, I'm sorry, I'm getting off course here.
No.
The Powerball is worth, I think, $1.55 billion. Billion with a B. That's a lot of Five Guy hamburgers.
That's 9 hamburgers. Customized hamburgers from Five Guys.
With one extra slice of cheese, please. But they said if you take the cash payout, you don't get 1.5. You get, I think it's 758 million. After federal taxes, and depending on what state you're in, you're getting about $430 million. What's wrong with that picture? Who's making out on this deal?
Uncle Sam?
Yeah, that's absurd. The amount of tax they charge people. And then they wonder why people are aggressive with their taxes. And, you know, it leads me to another point. I know it's off subject here, Mark. I apologize, my friend. But when you sit with us, we are doing a tax plan for you. Because when you have your accountant, your tax preparer doing your taxes for you before April 15th, what's his job or her job? Her job is to be reactive to what happened last year, trying to minimize your taxes or increase what you get back in refund based on what happened last year. When you sit down with me, folks, and my team, our job is to be proactive. In every facet of your retirement, we're always proactive. I'm looking to be ahead of the curve, looking at trends, seeing what the problems are, looking at history. When it comes to taxes, we're going to help minimize those taxes as much as legally and morally acceptable for the future. So maybe, Mark, that is doing a Roth conversion, which is taking taxable, your IRA or your traditional 401k and starting to liquidate that and put it into a Roth IRA or 401k. So our future taxes are lower. Maybe it is putting money aside into a life insurance policy. Whatever it is, that's my job because, folks, it's your money. It's your choices. And more importantly, it's your decisions. You've worked hard for it. Let's keep it in your pocket. And really, that starts with a phone call. Give me a call at 302-330-2166 or stop by the office here at 501 Silverside Road, Suite 31 in Wilmington, 19809, and let me help you get that information straight. Let us make sure we have you on course, and let's keep it in your pocket where it belongs. Because personally, you can do a heck of a lot more with that money for yourself than the government can for somebody else.
I'm not going to be greedy. I tell the lottery gods, I'll take $1 million. I don't need $1 billion.
I don't know. You know what?
Give me $1 million after taxes, and I'm pretty happy.
You know how much good you can do with $437 million?
Oh, you kidding me?
I don't think any one person should get that. But imagine all the help you could do. The veterans you could help, the homeless, I think personally we don't do enough for our veterans, and we need to do more to help support them. But education, training facilities, teaching people to be carpenters, electricians, plumbers. That would be the school. I'm going to open that school right now, Mark.
You're a better man than me, because you said you think what you could do with that $400 million. I'm going, you better believe I'm going on a high roller binge out in Vegas, and you're out here wanting to do stuff for the community. See, George, you're a better man than I am.
Oh my God!
I immediately get personal and like, what's in it for me?
Investment advisory services are offered only through properly registered representatives of Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, which is not affiliated with Portrayal Wealth Group. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if George Politarhos is licensed in your state, please contact his office. George A. Politarhos is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities, offered through George A. Politarhos, NPN number 175000473.